Okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the call. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. And you guys hearing me okay? Just checking because I'm not showing up as speaker. Okay, great. So I'm excited to be with you this evening to present to you and teach you a little bit about Teamzy. There's a lot that I want to do over the next however long it takes us to get through this, but I want to squeeze as much value as I can into the time we have together. And so the plan is I'm going to teach you a little bit about, I'm going to show you Teamzy, how to set it up. I'll show you how to crush a power hour. See, the whole thing is designed so that you can do all of your income producing activity in less than 1 hour a day. I'll teach you how to do that. But also I want to teach you a little bit about the philosophy that underpins Teamzy, the system it's built on, and that's called relationship marketing. So we're going to do a little bit of training on that tonight too. If you have, something to take notes on, I highly recommend it. I think you're going to suddenly say, oh, I want to write this down. So hopefully we'll give you guys a lot of nuggets that you can apply in your business. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Great. And are you seeing my presentation? Okay, great. Perfect. So here's the topic: how to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. And that's one of our hashtags. And that's how you're going to feel after today. Power hour boss. 1 hour a day for the business, the rest of the time living your amazing lives, right? Just to teach, just to kind of tell you a little bit of my backstory. My background is not network marketing. I'm not one of those network marketing gurus that's, been around since the 70s. Thank goodness, because that's a lot of what's being taught in our industry is 70s, 60s, 70s type tactics. My background is in business coaching consulting. I've been a professional consultant now for 20 years, helping people build specifically relationships-based businesses. And I come from different industry, primarily real estate and small business. I fell into the network marketing space about 7 years ago by accident, honestly. I just kind of needed a little something on the side for myself. Can anyone relate to that? And I had this amazing job. I loved it. I worked for a large consulting company. I made a good salary. It was great. It was very rewarding. The challenge that I had was that hold on one second. Somebody's in the waiting room. Let me just pop it out. You know what I'm going to do, Yvette? I'm going to make you co-host. So if anyone else pops in the waiting room, you can get it.
Sure.
For some reason, Zoom doesn't allow me to do that while I'm in a presentation. It's strange. Okay, so we're jumping back in. All right. So again, just to kind of give you guys some of the background. I was working all the time. I had this great job. I loved it, but I was constantly working. It was like, it was like 10 hours a day, like a normal job. But I had these amazing people in my life, my family, my kids, my wife, who I never saw. I was just constantly working. And I felt like that was my duty, right? I was supposed to provide and work hard. But at the same time, I wanted to be present for my kids. I wanted to be present for my wife, right? I wanted to be part of their lives. And I really felt like I only saw my wives or my children, especially in their pajamas. They'd be in pajamas when I left for work and pajamas when I got home from work. And I really felt like an opportunity to be part of their life actively was slipping away. So I was looking for something that would give me a little bit more freedom of time, a little bit of freedom financially, so that I could spend time with my kids. And network marketing was a perfect opportunity, right? Because you can get involved, build a business on the side. You don't have to do any investment. It just basically takes a little bit of energy and effort. The challenge I had was I already had no time. So how am I now going to build a business when I have no time? And so looking at my calendar and just going through it, very pragmatically, I felt like I was able to commit 1 hour a day. And that's all I could squeeze in was that 1 hour a day. I figured I would just take some away from my sleep, right? To get 1 hour a day towards my business. Now, here was the challenge. As a business coach, I knew exactly what needed to be done. So I started looking for tools that would help me leverage that time, because if you're only going to work an hour, it has to be highly leveraged, has to be highly efficient. You can't spend the whole time scrolling social media or whatever. You have to be really focused and on top of it. And just to be honest with you, there was really no tools in our industry. There were no professional tools to really help us leverage time like there are in many other industries. And the few tools that there were based on this really archaic go for no, find them, fleece them, forget them sales approach that's being taught, still being taught in our industry far and wide. And which to me is totally alien and foreign, because do any of you like it when people approach you that way? And so I have a pretty simple philosophy. I don't do things to other people I don't want them to do to me. Right. And I don't run my business that way either. So long story short, I knew that I needed to build something. And so I had already had background building tools like Teamzy and other industries. So I put together a team of people much smarter than me, took them out for a pizza and showed them my little sketches and said, do you think we could build this? And the next thing we knew, we had Teamzy, and it's kind of taken off just through word of mouth and people loving it. Just over 5 years, actually that needs to say just over, because we've now passed our 5-year mark. Just over 5 years, we've had more than 150,000 network marketers use Teamzy, which is incredible. It's very humbling to think about that. You know, we are not a big tech company funded by billionaires. We started up and this company started with a text message. I sent a link to 20 people I knew, and then it has spread. It's been pretty cool. And just to give you an idea of results, active users right now in Teamzy are averaging 21 new customers and 9 new recruits over 90 days. 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Pretty cool, right? How many of you guys are excited to learn how to get those results consistently while being authentic, not being salesy or cheesy or burning relationships up? Yeah, it's pretty cool. How many of you are using Teamzy already? Just curious. Okay, good. We've got a blank canvas. It's all good. So let's talk a little bit about relationship marketing, because this is becoming kind of a buzzword. I've been teaching this for 20 years, and now suddenly everybody's saying the words relationship marketing. The same thing happened 20 years ago when people said, you're a what? A business coach? Nobody could understand that. Now it's common, right? But I want you guys to understand, a lot of times people use these words relationship marketing, but they don't really mean it. Right? They're playing lip service to a way to like manipulate relationships to do things. I want you guys to understand that relationship marketing, first and foremost, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. You can't hold on tightly to that desire for the sale. You have to release that result and focus on the person. Does this make sense? Also, this isn't some abstract feel-good concept. It's a proven system. It's a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. We'll always know what to do next, which is amazing, right? And it's easy to duplicate for the same reason with people that you're bringing onto your team. Finally, I want you guys to know that relationship marketing is a lead generation system, And that's just a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. That's what we're after, right? Is initiating consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of our business. As business owners, you guys are business owners, right? Yeah, business owner. As business owners, the first priority is determining which lead generation system you'll use for your business. Because your business is not marketing and selling those great Healy products. Your business is lead generation. A business owner's business is lead generation. You're in the lead generation business. It's a principle I want you guys to wrap your heads around. But here's the good news. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So let me just kind of put those together in simple terms. If you want to have a successful business with this system, your focus is on meeting people and building relationships with them, right? And then going deeper with the relationships you already have. So it's about developing and deepening relationships. And if you focused on that, you're going to have a successful business with just a little couple of things in the system you need to add to it. But our focus is on relationships. And this is an important concept because we turn relationships into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Here's what I want you guys to know. And I'm going to constantly bash on this traditional go for no approach throughout the training tonight. I hope that's okay with you guys. And if you are engaged in one of those go for no campaigns, I don't mean to step on your toes. This is just where I'm coming from. This is my passion. But I want you guys to understand that if you approach your business that way and you get a list and you're just like, man, I'm just going to message every person on this list and, a cold invite, check out this video, or check this out, or check this out. What happens is when they say no, which most rational people will say no to a cold offer like that, right? It's just kind of like, go. How many of you guys, when a pop-up comes up on your computer, you're just like, you close it before you even see what it says sometimes? Any of you guys do that? And it's like, you see it as it's closing, go, oh, I didn't want to close that. It's too late. Because it's like our response. So most people are going to say no. Then what happens? You throw them away. They get thrown away. They're a no, out, they're gone. Are you insane? I mean, those are good. Those are great people. Here's what I want you guys to understand about the relationship marketing approach. We focus on relationships because relationships become advocates. Now, you may have somebody that you care about. Maybe it's somebody you don't even know yet. Maybe you'll become friends over time. But that person may not feel like Healy's for them. They may not feel like they need this. They haven't identified that as their problem, but they could still become a huge advocate for your business. They could still be somebody who's introducing people to your business on a regular basis because they're so excited about your mission. Does this make sense? And when we throw people away because they say, no, not for me right now, we turn off the ability to create an army of advocates. And that is how we build a huge business that grows exponentially without burning out and getting totally stressed all the time. Does this make sense, you guys? This works in every business, not just network marketing. Every business that focuses on building relationships and advocates will thrive. Will thrive. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it tonight. Don't worry. Okay, next piece here. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. I like to say, in other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Okay. And it's important for me to say that because in our industry, there are jerks, correct? Have you guys come across disingenuous people? Or maybe they're genuine people that have been told they need to do disingenuous things. Maybe you've even come across trainings in the past from very successful people where you've said, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. Is that what I need to do? Which I believe is one of the main reasons so many people quit our industry, is because a very small percentage of people have become very successful doing disingenuous things. Does it make sense? And we're told to follow those people. Relationship marketing depends on trust. So we need to start from the foundation of, we're not going to do anything disingenuous ever. We're going to be 100% authentic, integrous. Anybody on board for this? Here's the really good news. It actually works better than the other approach. It works better. Here's something that I love about it though. When people trust you, the work is fun. When people trust you, the work is fun. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to sell them. You can get right to helping them. And that's why we're here, right? To help people. Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. So I apologize if some of my words are overly American. I don't know if you guys talk about icky salespeople, but for me, coming across as an icky salesperson is a huge, I don't know if I want to say fear, just a concern of mine. I don't want to be an icky. Anybody not want to be an icky salesperson? So if people trust you, then there's no ickies. They're not going to see you that way. Does this make sense? They're not going to see you that way because they trust you. And finally, you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no and dealing with constant rejection, you're building relationships. You're building positive energy everywhere you go. It's pretty cool. You guys will see. Some of you who are using Teamzy will experience this. You know, tomorrow when you guys go use Teamzy after you're fired up after this call, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, he's right. This feels great. So how do you build trust? I'm just going to give you some nuggets here really quick before we dive into Teamzy. I want to teach you guys the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. We'll just do this really quickly, and then I'll jump in and show you the app. Here they are quickly, and then I'll explain them. Number 1 is chemistry. Chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. The 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, so let's go through these really quickly. Chemistry is creating a connection with someone. Okay, chemistry is creating a connection with someone. Where do you have common ground with them? What is it about you they can relate to? This is super important. I'm just going to give you a really basic principle, and that's that people prefer to do business with friends. People prefer to do business with friends, and nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. And so our first job is to create a connection. Now, the thing that's amazing is we're all connected. So ask a few questions, get to know somebody. You'll find things in common quickly. Okay, you'll find things in common quickly. Of course, social media helps us with that too, right? It gives us little shortcuts. But chemistry is the first step. Number two is character. This is the first step is chemistry. Character is like times 100 more important. Okay. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. I just want you guys to notice something about this particular definition. You don't actually have character. We think it's something we have. Like, I'm a person of good character. How many of you think you're people of good character? It's not something we have. It's something we do. It's something we do. It has to be consistently demonstrated daily. Does this make sense? And it's demonstrated by us caring for other people, showing people. So it's not enough to just feel it inside. You have to demonstrate it. People need to see your character. And this isn't everything we do. This is how we follow up with people, how we take care of our customers, how we treat people in the world, right? How gracious are we with people who are helping us and serving us in the world? You know, how are you driving your car? Are you polite to other people? Are you, I want you guys to understand it's 24/7 thinking about how to care for other people and showing that. When people know that your character is strong, they'll trust you. Make sense? If people suspect your character is not, people suspect, what's the opposite of good character? Being selfish, self-centered. If people suspect that of you, they won't trust you. Make sense? Number three is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. This is so important because if you're my cousin who I've seen with your pants on backwards a couple of times, and now you suddenly represent Healy, this very sophisticated device, why will I believe you? Why will I believe you that this thing even means anything or works? Does this make sense? So it's important that we demonstrate that we're good at what we do. We demonstrate. Now, I just make that story to joke, but every one of you has somebody like that, right? Who sees you that way. And you know, it's funny because even after building 3 businesses. Personally, after building 3 businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, I still have family members that think of me as a bartender because I did it for so long, right? You guys does that make sense? So it's about building your competence and demonstrating what you're learning, demonstrating how it's changing your life, demonstrating how it's changed your customers' lives. If you're brand new, it's about talking about your team and what they've done and how they've impacted people and how lives have been impacted, telling stories so people can see your journey towards becoming a new type of practitioner. Does this make sense? It's very important that we demonstrate your competence. You can't secretly be competent. You have to let people know. They have to see this. They have to see the growth. So you need to be sharing this so that people can see it. The second piece is your business end. Why should I? Okay, great. I believe you. The product's amazing. You know all about it. Why should I join your team? Why do I believe you can mentor me to be successful in this business? Again, I need to see you growing in your business. I need to see that competence being laid down so that I can believe you and join you. And I will let you guys know, if you're new to the business, the last thing I ever want you to do, please do not ever pretend to be something you're not. Please do not fake your success. You need to be honest. But here's the good news. You can talk about your team. You can talk about your upline. You can share their stories. You can let people know how you have aligned yourself with incredibly competent, successful people, and how when they join you, they join that team. Does this make sense? It's like the rookie. I know sports analogies. Sometimes I lose people in sports analogies. But when you have a championship team and a rookie joins the team, the second they put that uniform on, they are members of a championship team. Does that make sense? You don't have to have won any championships. You're part of the championship team now. Does this make sense? So you share as you're building your competence, you share stories, you share about your upline, you share about your team, you let people know who you're connected with. Make sense? But we need to be sharing this. Okay, real quick on this. Before I jump to number 4, there's a principle that underlies these 3. Okay, and that's this. If somebody's going to be doing business with you, they really only care about 3 things. Okay, write this one down for sure, you all. They only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? This is all they care about, honestly. Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. If somebody knows the answer to all three are yes, you have an advocate. You have somebody who will go out of their way to tell other people about you. Also, those people will become your customer. They will buy your product without question. They won't even ask you what it does. They'll just say, sign it up. This is going to help me. Great. I trust you. Great. Right? You guys will have, some of you may have experienced this. I know I've experienced this in my business where people say, just here's my credit. Here's my credit card. Just order what you think I need. And we'll talk next week. Tell me how to use it. Right? And I'm like, I don't even know if that's legal. You know, can I just send you a link? But I've had people do that. You guys will experience this too. And so when people know these are true, you've got an advocate, you have trust, you can really get to helping people. Now, when people are not certain, maybe they don't know you well enough yet, they're not certain if these are yeses, they will raise objections, right? They'll raise objections. Have you guys had to overcome some objections? Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means they're not certain about these yet. How can you can't just say, Yvette, trust me, right? I always tell my kids, anyone that says, trust me is not trustworthy. Anybody who says, I swear I'm telling the truth is a liar. So I teach my kids these things, right? You guys know this. So we can't tell someone to trust us. We have to earn it. And that's what we're talking about today. So if somebody's uncertain and they have objections, that's totally fine. You work with them, you overcome objections, you help them through the process, and you work on the relationship. But that's where objections come from. They don't know about these three. They're not sure. Now, here's the last piece I want you to know, which is very important. If somebody feels any of these as a no, can't trust you, you don't care about me, you're not good at what you do. If they feel there's a no here, they will not do business with you. And they're very likely to warn others from doing business with you. Now, if you guys think about yourselves, you could probably think of a person or a business in all three examples, right? Where you felt great about them, where you haven't been sure about them, or where you have been like, this is the worst business, you guys stay away. So it's very important that we understand this. As you're picking your strategy for building your business, you need to make sure you're not violating trust, that you're not being self-centered, but focusing on others, and that you're constantly working on building your own competence. Make sense? Okay, number 4, let's dive into it because this is the important one. Oh, they're all important, but none of them work without this one. Consistency. Consistency. There's no better way to build trust than by doing things consistently, being a person of your word consistently. Make sense? And I love, there's a principle behind this. Beyond building trust, not only does it build trust, though, by the way, being consistent makes you successful, doesn't it? Builds your own success. But I love this principle. People respect consistency. They respect it and they desire it for themselves. It feels elusive. It feels hard. People respect it and desire it for themselves. When others see you being consistent, they're attracted to you. Does this make sense? This is part of being consistent, helps you be successful. It builds trust and it draws people to your team. And then when you have a team full of people working together to be consistent, you suddenly have people who love being part of the team. They're inspired by, how many of you guys are there? You love this community, you love this group. It's a special place. People out in the regular world don't seem to be working towards these things. This is a great kind of place, right? So that's the incredible power of being consistent. And so there's lots of ways we need to be consistent, right? The most obvious one is we've got to be products of our own product, right? How many of you guys are consistent users of your product? Yeah. You got to be. If you're not doing that, it's not going to work, right? We need to share our journey consistently. We need to let people know what we're doing. Social media is a great tool. How many of you are consistent on social media, sharing your journey? People actually know that you're doing this and working on it. Okay, great. It's important, right? Because secret agents are only good at subverting, not building, right? Can't be a secret agent. We got to be out there in the public. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what really matters when it comes to consistency. The thing that really matters is this question. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent with your relationships? And what I mean is, are you as consistent about staying in touch with your relationships as you are about posting on social media, for example? Because I want you to understand that relationship building is a contact sport. right? I don't mean violence, of course, but you need to be in regular contact with people. If you want relationships with people, you need to be in regular contact with people. There's no other way to do it. Social media is a great tool, but it doesn't really build one-on-one relationships. You got to go one-on-one to do that. Does this make sense? And if you were to hire me as a business consultant for you, I would tell you the number one thing we need to do in your business is make a list of everybody you know, and I need you to be in regular contact with all of them. But I know that your time is scarce. I know that seems like a huge task, which of course is why I built Teamzy. And I'll show you guys in a minute how incredibly easy we make this for you to stay in one-on-one contact with relationships and build those relationships in a systematic way. But first, I want to just talk to you about this principle. This is the big principle today. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, I'm just going to pop out of here real quick because I want to see your faces just for a second. Okay. All right. So great. If you've got your camera off and you're not laying in bed, turn it on so I can see you. Okay. Just really quick, I want you to think about a time that you received a card or a letter from somebody you love. And it was, the handwritten note part where when you read the message from this person, it was like, oh my gosh, just got you right in the heart. Can you guys think of a time when you received something like that from somebody you love with that handwritten? Yeah. Now, you all probably thought of a specific one or maybe two. This next question I have is, do you still have it? Did you save it? How many of you have a secret stash of cards and letters from loved ones that you can't bear to get rid of? Yeah, everyone's raising their hand. Isn't that amazing? And we represent how many countries? 5 or 6 here today? This is a universal thing we all do. And it's so incredibly meaningful when somebody we love writes us a message, isn't it? Now, let's just talk about another example. This is a happy birthday card. It's a postcard that I received from my life insurance salesperson, right? A little mailing. Do you guys ever receive these from businesses, people that you do business with, maybe a little happy birthday card or something like this? Now, I received this and it says, wishing you all the best. Here's to another great year of you, right? And the question I have is, would this get put in that special place with all those other heartfelt cards? How many of you, when you receive something like this, are like, well, that's nice, and then you just kind of toss it? Absolutely. Why is this not valuable? Now let's just talk about this principle for a second. The only way to deepen a relationship is to invest time and to connect personally with someone. This required no investment of time. It's an automated deal. It's like a service he pays. It required no investment of time. So I immediately place no value on it. Does this make sense? And then it gets even worse because it's not personal. It's a bulk mailing. This doesn't even have my name on it, by the way. It doesn't say happy birthday, Eric. It says, here's to another great year of you. You know who you are. You. Hey, buddy, right? Does this make sense? It's impersonal. It required no time. We do not value this. This doesn't really deepen the relationship, right? It's very important. Whereas the handwritten card, somebody took 2 or 3 minutes to write for you, you'll save it forever. In fact, a lot of times when loved ones pass away, we keep their letters. Isn't this true? So like a handwritten card will outlive us. It's so important you guys understand this concept, because in our industry, or in every industry, this whole concept of automated marketing is so attractive, right? But don't be fooled, because automated marketing fails to do the most important thing in our business, which is deepening relationships and building trust. Does this make sense? We need to connect personally with people if you really want to make a difference. Now, what I'm going to show you in a second in Teamzy is how to connect personally with people, but you don't have to invest a lot of time. It doesn't take more than a few seconds, but the perception of time invested is there. The deep impact is there. Does this make sense, you guys? So I'm going to show you how to do it, how we systemize that personal care so that you can stay on top of it, do it in a small amount of time, and really make an impact in people's lives. Okay, so let me dive back in here. I've got one more slide and we're going to jump into Teamzy. So you guys got that down. Investing time and connecting with people personally is the only way to deepen relationships. This is all great, Eric. I can, you're keeping me out of bed tonight and I'm liking it. I like the philosophy, but there's more to this than a philosophy. Everyone, you need a system. You need a system. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. Know when you're going to contact them, so you're not spending a lot of time thinking or planning or overthinking. Anybody an overthinker? Know what you're going to say to them so you can get right into starting a conversation. Not overthinking, not getting stuck in what we call analysis paralysis, and make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. So I'm going to show you guys Teamzy really quick. And as I'm pulling up Teamzy, I just want to share, it's so funny. Let me just pull this up. I just remembered something that happened today in one of my groups. I just want to share this with you guys because as I'm going to show you how we make an impact with these messages, one of our Teamzy users who's in one of my groups posted today in our group. Let me just share this with you really quick. She says, "OMG, thanks Teamzy for reminding me to connect with this friend today." Let me share this screen so you guys can see this. This is a message that Teamzy prompted her to send. She says, "Just thinking about you. How are you doing? How's your amazing girl? Hope you're all happy and healthy and feeling great." And the response is, "Hi, Priska, I'm having a terrible day. Your message made me feel better." Right? "Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Anything I can do for you, beautiful woman, sending you a big virtual hug. A virtual hug, big virtual hug is all I needed." These little messages, taking some time out to connect with people, can make a huge difference. You can make people stay all day long. Does this make sense? Now I'm going to show you guys how to build a business with this right now. Let me go into Teamzy. All right. I need to go back to where I was. Teamzy is right here in another tab. Okay. First off, I want you all to know you can get a free trial of Teamzy. Go to tmz.com, start free trial. It's free access. We won't ask for your credit card number or anything like that. You can just get in there and use it for free. Okay. So we want you all to make sure you get signed up for a free trial, from this training. Go in there and try it out. There's a specific, special custom version for Healy. So when you start your free trial, it'll ask you to look for your business. We've got over 90 versions. You'll scroll down, it's alphabetical, find Healy, make sure you get in the right version. Okay. So once you've logged in to your free trial, this will be the first screen you see. I'll be right there to welcome you. You'll be like, "Oh, I know that guy." Okay, great. So here we go. We're going to get started. Now, this is set up for people like me who are not real techie. Anyone not that techie? You guys look pretty savvy. You're probably, your technology people are probably pretty savvy. I struggle with technology. I want it to be easy for me to use, right? I don't understand. I don't want to know how it works. I just want to push a button and have it do what it does. This is the thing that kills my engineers. I'm like, don't explain to me how it works, guys. I just want to push the button and have it do what I do. That's your job, right? So here it is. Here's the button. Click it next. All right. So first thing I want to show you in the setup wizard is this page where we're going to set your income goal. Set your income goal. So basically what Teamzy does is you tell it how much you want to be earning a year from now, and it will tell you how much work you need to do. And it'll tell you exactly what to do. Okay. So you don't have to think. So set your income goal. How much would you like to be earning 12 months from now? You can see my goal is set at 150,000. Now you can move this up or down. Okay. Now I understand some of you have different units of money. It doesn't matter though. Just don't worry about the fact that this has the $ in front of it. It's still going to work the same. Okay. It's still going to work the same. All right. So you can see at $150,000 goal, Teamzy's telling me exactly what to do each day. I need to reach out to 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 of my members. 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 of my members. If I move this down, you can see those goals change. If I move it up, they change again. Okay. So it's telling me exactly what to do. That's 5 days a week for 12 months. Are you guys with me? Great. Now I'm going to click on continue. And as I continue this, of course, I took too long to talk about it. Let me just refresh the page. As I continue this, it is now configuring my Teamzy account to my goal. So each one of you have a custom dashboard to your specific goal. Make sense? The next stage is we're going to get everybody imported into Teamzy. Teamzy is a contact manager, so we want all our contacts in there. You could import, you're going to import your members, your team, your customers, whatever. But also you can get all your social media contacts in here, which is cool, Facebook, Instagram, so that you have a list to work with. Make sense? Okay. So no more digging through your phone, looking at sticky notes, trying to find pads of paper with contact information. It's all going to be organized in one place in the cloud, which means if your smartphone's nearby, you've got access to Teamzy and all that information. Does this make sense? Okay, now beyond it being in one place organized, what's really powerful, I'm going to show you this in a second, is that Teamzy has a special algorithm that will cycle all those contacts through. So you never have to think about it. You'll make sure that you stay in contact with everybody and there's nobody falling through the cracks, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we're ready to launch this. So once you get this all set up, this is what the Tmz dashboard looks like. Okay. And I just want to highlight a couple pieces here. I'm going to scroll down real quick to where it says today's activities. And again, these are those goals that we set up. So you set that annual goal, the big goal, and now it's just going to tell you what to do today. Okay, it's just going to tell you what to do today. So my goal today is to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 members. Okay, you can see I've got zeros. I haven't done any work yet. My goal is, and we're going to talk about what we do when we connect with people in a second. My goal is also to share 3 times. That's when I'm sharing a product solution for somebody or I'm sharing the business opportunity with somebody. So my goal is to do that 3 times a day. So out of 19 conversations, 3 shares. Why do I not share it 19 times? Because it's not always appropriate, right? Sometimes you have to get a little farther in the conversations. Does this make sense? So imagine if you were selling weight loss. Would you walk up to an obese person and say, I have the solution to your obesity? How would that go over? It doesn't go over well because they haven't identified they need help with that yet. Make sense? So this is really important. This is what sets relationship marketing apart from what's traditionally sold, is that you know you have the solution to their problems, but they don't know it yet. And until they know it, it's not a welcome thing. Does this make sense? Are you guys with me? We need to talk it through. It's kind of like courting your mate. You don't walk up at first and say, I can tell that you need me. Let's get married. Then we get out of my face, creep, right? So we have to kind of court and build that relationship. So I'm going to share 3 times a day. And then the last goal for the day is to add new people to Teamzy. I always want to be meeting new people, adding people to my list, constantly bringing, it's like bringing fresh water into the business, right? If you think of your business as a beautiful lake teeming with fish, it needs fresh water. Make sense? That's new people, bringing new energy, new people in constantly. So those are my goals for today. Now, this is an important concept real quick. And then we're going to do a quick power hour and we'll do some Q&A. If you want a business that is big, how many of you want a business that's big? If you want a business that's big, your focus must be small. Okay? If you want a business that's big, your focus must be small. We can only build our business today. So we make a big goal, great. Now, what do we need to do today? We need to break it down. And if I were to tell you guys 90% of what I do as a business consultant is helping people break big goals down into little chunks so they can do it today. And that's what Teamzy does for you. So today we know what we need to do. Now, Teamzy is a CRM. How many of you have ever heard of CRM softwares? CRM means contact relationship manager. It doesn't really matter. All it means is it keeps track of all your contacts and all their information. Okay. But what Teamzy does that's really special is this Power Hour module that we're seeing right here. See where it says Power Hour? So all that data is in there. All your contacts are in there. Your thousands of people that you know are in there, their names, their addresses, whatever information you have, the name of their dog, when they got married, their favorite coffee drink, whatever you keep track of. Those are things I like to keep track of, by the way. Pets, kids, and coffee drinks. Just telling you, it's really powerful. If you go to see somebody and you bring them their favorite coffee drink without being told to do it, do you know what a huge impression that makes? I'm just telling you, a few dollars, it's like buying somebody Tiffany jewelry. It's just that's a little side tip. You're going to get little side tips whenever you get trainings with me. So it brings all of that data is in Teamzy. But what Teamzy does is it tells me, okay, Eric, you need to connect with 9 prospects. Here's the first 5 to connect with. Don't think, connect with these people. Okay. And it does it automatically based on the Teamzy algorithm. Now, the way this works is very simple. You notice next to their names, they have a number. The number is how many stars I've assigned to that person. So Yvette's a 5-star, right? And then you'll look down, you'll see Bernie is a 3-star. This isn't me judging them as people. This is me judging our relationship, how strong our relationship is. 5-star people are going to come up first on the list. And after I connect with them, they come back automatically in 30 days. 4-star people come up second, and then they come back automatically every 60 days. 3-star people come up automatically every 90 days. 2-star people come up automatically every 120 days. What this does is it enables me to build relationships over time without being creepy, without overdoing it, right? But it also keeps people from falling through the cracks. Does this make sense? So when you guys start using Teamzy this week and you import all your contacts in, you're going to go through, and there's a little video for me on the dashboard on how to do the ranking. Okay, so it's really easy. So you'll look for those little tips. But you're actually only going to change the rank on maybe 10 to 20% of your list. Everyone's going to come in as a 3-star, and most of your people will stay at 3 stars because they're acquaintances you're not super close to, right? And so more than every 3 months is kind of weird. So you're going to start building those relationships. But you want to go through your list and look for your best people, your favorite people, the people who trust you, and rank them higher so you can get to them first. Make sense? Are you guys with me? So once that's done, all you do now, once you've set up Teamzy, you never have to think about it again. You just come in here each morning and you do your power hour. You come straight down to this module, power hour module, and you start connecting. Don't think. I mean, you can think, but don't overthink, right? Don't get stuck. The first person on my list is Yvette. I'm going to connect with her. Now, this is important. What am I going to send her? Am I going to send her a great video on how amazing Healy is? No, I'm not. Not yet. I'm going to connect. My goal is just to make her day, just like our friend Priska did in that example I showed you. I just want to make her day. Why do I just want to make her day? First of all, because that's the whole point, is lifting people up, building relationships. But by making her day, not only does it make us both feel great, but it enables us to have a conversation. It creates conversations, right? So just understand this concept. Cold invites end conversations. Cold invites end conversations. In most cases, probably 95% of the time, a cold invite will end that conversation. They will not want to talk to you. Make somebody's day. So we're going to start by making people's day. So let's just go ahead and do this. How do I do it? Yvette comes up. I'm going to message her. What the heck do I say? Should I spend an hour reading her Instagram and Facebook before I message her so I make sure I personalize it? How many of you guys get stuck there? Don't do that. You don't need to do that. What if I message her and what if I spend an hour researching her Facebook and Instagram and then I message her and she doesn't respond to me? That was a wasted hour, wasn't it? Just send her a nice message. When she responds and you're in the conversation with her, then you can go there and dig in a little. Make sense? Okay, so how do we do this? The easiest way is just go use my scripts. I've been doing this 20 years. The scripts are here for you to use. They're not salesy. They're not cheesy. They're just make someone's day scripts. So right here where it says scripts, you see where I'm circling? Click that and you get a script. And I'm going to Facebook message her because we're Facebook buddies. Okay, here we go. I'll take the first one off the list. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Okay, hope your day is awesome. So I'm going to copy that script. Now, you can edit these scripts a little bit, just don't overdo it. I get a lot of feedback from our friends in the UK that they don't say awesome, so say great if you don't want to say awesome. And all you Aussies on the call, you're going to keep awesome. You're like, this script is perfect. It's perfect. Okay, great. So I like the word awesome because for me, awesome is like my base level enthusiasm. Only goes up from there. You know, people say, how you doing? I say, I'm awesome, but it's getting better, right? So it just depends on where you want your base level enthusiasm to be. I like mine to be high. So look, I've pasted that script in here. Now, what I'm going to do is just edit it a little bit, right? You need to get the right name. Now, really important. A lot of people will take out the first name and put sweetie or whatever in there. Friend. Don't do that. Every time you start a chat with somebody, use their first name. Okay, this is a pro tip. Use their first name. If it's somebody that's really close and you have a special nickname for them, then use that. But the point is, they need to know this is to them, that it's personal, that it's not some bulk chat service that you plugged into your social media. Does it make sense? So start the chats always with their first name. I like to throw a couple of emojis in too. Emojis let people know that, you know, that it's not, oh, that was weird. It came up that way. Emojis let people know that it's, you know, coming from you. And then it's, again, it just, it makes it lighthearted, less threatening. So whatever, I'm just grabbing the first two emojis on my list. So now I've got it, it's just the way I want it, right? And I'm going to go send it to her in Facebook. And I'm going to copy this so I can send it. Now, if I can go look her up in Facebook, or I can just go to details where I've got her link saved, import it into Teamzy, and that'll open her up. There she is. And so we'll just send her this message. Okay, there it is. Send. Now, when you get to this page, this is where you stop and start overthinking and how's she going to receive this? And just send it. Okay, don't overthink it. Just send it. It's just to make someone's day message. I guarantee you they're going to smile when they get that message. Okay, so toggle back over to Teamzy. And so what we're going to do is we're going to complete this connect. So see where it says select activity. What was it? In this case, it was a Facebook message. Great. Blue button says log connect. Click that. So now the message is logged. And I want you to see now we've got one message to prospects done. And this little blue circle is starting to fill in. This is our visual cue that we're making progress. Now the next person on my list is Jay. And I'm going to send her the same message. Why overthink it? What we're going to do is just change the name to Jay. Now it's ready to go. Okay. So great. Now, okay, the other way we can do this, if you don't have the link saved in Teamzy, you can just go to Facebook in another tab and look up Jay. Okay. It also takes a second. So there she is. Actually, she's already open right here. So we're going to paste that message into Jay and send. Okay. So it's sent. So now I've got 2 sent. We're going to log this. Do you see how quick you can get at this after you've practiced a little? Honestly, these 19 connects, I could send these in 15 minutes. Now, it might take you 30 if you're new, maybe a little longer if you tend to overthink a little bit. But still, you're getting this done. Make sense? So I'm going to keep, now I've got 2 done. See that circle's filling in. So I'm going to go to Emerson next, and I'm just going to work my way down the list. When people come up on this list and you're like, I don't know if I even want to message that person, just send it anyways. Don't overthink it. Just send it. Just send it. Okay. Just send it. Just go down the list and send it. Just do it. And you'll end up just like that message I showed you from Priska, where she was like, I'm so glad I messaged this person today. She wasn't going to message that person on her own. Teamzy told her to, she did it. So we're going to work our way down the list. When this circle is all the way blue, that means I'm done prospecting for the day. I hit my goal for today. Okay. So I'm done. I go to the next list, which is customers. So now I'm going to go down my customers, same thing, just a little message to make their day. That's the goal. The first half of the power hour is just make someone's day messages. It's so funny. I have a client, she calls them MSDs. I said, it sounds like a drug. She goes, yeah, my goal is 20 MSDs a day. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound right. Make someone's day, get it? MSDs. So next person is Hobie. We're going to message him. He's a customer. Now what's cool is the scripts. Now Teamzy knows that I'm on customers. So you're going to see some new scripts, which is great. And I love some of these, just real simple. Hi, John, how are you enjoying your Healy watch? Right, put in the product. Don't leave the word the products, okay? Please substitute the word the products for the actual product. I shouldn't have to say that, but you know I do. You know, how are you enjoying your Healy watch? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. This is a simple, easy, if you don't have a strong relationship with a customer, this is a great message to send because it's personal and it's professional. And no matter what they tell you, positive or negative, it's going to be great information for a wonderful conversation. Make sense? Here's another one that I love. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Is there anything I can do to make your day? And you'll be amazed how well that one works with people. And again, if you can copy that. Now, I've also included in this list some of the normal connects because maybe some of you have not been in contact with your customers for a long time. And so it may be out of the blue. You may need to re-engage them. So something like this. Hi, Jane, I saw you cross my Facebook feed. Thought I'd say hello. How are you? Okay, are you guys with me? So you can kind of get back into connecting with people without having to do a full confession of I've been terrible and you know, I want to re-engage with you. All right, so the same thing, you're going to put your messages in here. You're going to customize them a little bit. Go send them in Facebook and log them. Okay, you don't have to overthink it, but now my goal is 6 customers. And so I'm going to message the first 6 customers on my up next list. Every time I log a message, they recycle back into Teamzy and will come back after their time period is up. So it's either going to be 30, 60, 90, or 120 days, depending on how I've ranked them. Make sense? I don't have to plan some intricate customer follow-on program. Here's what I found. Guys, I've trained over 150,000 network marketers. And so many teams and companies will create, here's how we follow up with customers here. You 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 3 months, 2 months, the 28th of each month, right? They create these like things where and nobody can keep up with that. And what happens is you fall behind and then you stop talking to customers at all. This is so simple. They're just going to show up. You're just going to stay in contact. You're just going to message people as they come up. You'll be in regular contact. Now, what happens when you're in regular contact with customers is magical. There's three things. Let me just look at you guys for a second. There's three things magical that happens. We've been talking about being integrous. We've been talking about building an authentic, heart-based business, right? The first thing that happens is it's good service. Right? It's good service. How many of you want to provide great service as part of, you wish you were better at that? Well, this is going to help you do that. That's the first thing that happens. But from a business benefit standpoint, when you're in regular contact with customers, statistically, they order more product and they retain longer. Okay. They order more product and they retain longer. This is a statistical fact just by being in touch with them. So they get one product from you. Now you're in touch, you're building a relationship. They're intrigued. They want the next thing. They want the upgrade. They want, right? Does this make sense? So it becomes more lucrative for your business and they become happier customers. That's the beautiful thing, is that when your customers are happy, they love buying more things from you. Does this make sense? Think about an amazing meal at a wonderful restaurant with great service. All right. Do you go home and say, I can't believe she talked me into that extra glass of wine and that dessert? No, you go home and think, that was awesome, right? I'm so glad that we had such great service. We got to really enjoy that. So depending on where you live, you might actually get to do that again soon, right? So hopefully. Okay, where was I? Lose my train of thought. So statistically, they buy more and retain longer, which is what we all want. We're building a business that's based on team volume, that's based on retention. This is how you do it, just by staying in touch and having a relationship. The third thing that's magical that happens, this is the best part. Think about, can you all think of one customer you have who you adore and you're just, can I please just have one of your hairs so we can clone you and I could have an army of you being my customer? Do you guys have anybody like that? You all think, I mean, you may not think that, that's a weird thought, but you think, I want more customers like you. You're great. The best place to find great customers, or team members for that matter, both, they come hand in hand, is from your great customers, from your best people. That's the best place to find new ones. This is the way real business has been built since the beginning of time. Okay. Your customers are loving Healy. And what do people do when they love something? They talk about it. They talk about it, which means that the friends and family of your customers already know about Healy, and their friend already told them they love it. Did you know that 90% of purchasing this, 90% of, I should say it this way, I say it the way it's actually done, actually was asked. When asked, 90% of people say they make their major purchasing decisions based on the recommendations of friends and family. Not because of marketing or adverts or fancy videos from corporate. Those things help, but they make the decision based on the recommendation of friends and family. Your customers are already recommending this to their friends and family, which means they have customers ready for you. Are you getting introduced to those people? Are you getting introduced to those people? Now, you will not get introduced if you don't have a relationship. Make sense? So as you build the relationship consistently using your Teamzy, you're going to get introduced to the friends and family. This is the #1 way we grow our business exponentially in this business. It's not from some Instagram class or meeting strangers and trying to warm them up. Now, as we meet people, we want to warm them up, build relationships with them. But I'm telling you right now, getting introduced to the friend of a customer, that person already trusts you 100%. Why? Because their friend trusts you. You can get right to helping them. Does this make sense? So just really quick, I wish I had all night just to talk to you about this one particular thing. And actually, I'm doing a webinar Monday night, but that'll be in the middle of the night for most of you. But still register for it because you can get the replay. Unless you just want to stay up in the middle of the night and watch it, it'll be great. I will talk a little bit more about this on that call. But just asking people to refer you or tell people about you, don't do that. That's a total waste. Okay? Don't do that. We used to joke about like handing somebody a business card saying, keep me in mind, tell your friends. It's like you could drive down the highway in your car and throw 500 business cards out the window on the highway. And you'll have the same chance that that card lands in the right hand of the person who needs you. Make sense? No, you need to ask them to introduce you to their friends. So if I'm talking to Nancy and she's loving her Healy, Nancy, you're in the middle of my screen, so you're going to be my guinea pig for this. I'm going to say, hey, Nancy, I know you've been loving your Healy. You've been getting amazing results. And I imagine you've probably been telling friends and family about it. Before I get too busy this month, I just wanted to check in with you because honestly, I just want more customers like you. You're my exact favorite kind of person. So is there anybody that you've been talking to that needs more information about Healy? I want to prioritize your people ahead of anyone else I'm talking to this month. And I'm sure you've mentioned it. So is there anybody that you've been talking to that needs more info? And she's going to go, oh, well, actually, yeah, I was talking to Emily and Michelle about it yesterday. Okay, perfect. Would you mind introducing me to them? Just introduce me to them, whatever's easiest for you. Group chat on Facebook Messenger or text, whatever's easiest. Just do a quick intro message and I'll get them some more information. Does this make sense? Do you guys see how easy this is? But if I haven't talked to Nancy in 3 years and I message her out of the blue and say, introduce me to all your friends so I can sell them Healy, she's gonna be like, get out of here. What are you talking about? Right? I haven't even unboxed that thing. I don't even know what to do with it. You never messaged me again, you big jerk. No, just kidding. The point is we have to help them through, right? We have to help them through the process. But if you're in regular contact with customers, those introductions become easier and easier and easier. And you let people know that that's what you want, that you want to help their friends, that you'll do it for them. You don't have to sell Healy to your friends. I'll do it. I'll talk to them. But what happens is now that Nancy has introduced me to Emily and Michelle, when I message on a group chat, they know I'm connected to her. They trust me already. Now I can message them and it's so easy. I can be excited to meet them on the group chat and then individually message them, hey, Michelle, great to be connected. I've really enjoyed working with Nancy. And as you know, we've helped her a ton. She's made huge progress. Where can I help you? Like, where are you most interested in learning about Healy? Let me know. Does this make sense? And so now there's this incredible credibility as I'm starting my conversation with Michelle and getting to know her. Now, if she's very interested, of course, we're going to help her all the way through. If she's kind of interested, like, oh, I'm good for now. It's like, great, no problem, Michelle. Let's stay in touch. We'll just stay in touch. And if you ever have questions, I'm here. If you have questions about anything, whether it's Healy or other areas of health and wellness, holistic living, whatever it is, I'm here. I'll be your person. Okay, great. So now we're in touch. Guess what? Now Michelle's in my Teamzy. I'm going to connect with her every few months. We're going to start building relationship, building trust. Sometimes they need a little bit more. But here's the point. I've been introduced to a great person. Now I have a great, eventually she will become my advocate. Every person that Michelle knows will eventually support my business. This is the way I think. Does this make sense? Every new person I'm introduced to will become my advocate. I fully expect everybody who's still on this call hasn't fallen asleep 100% yet. I know some of you are sleepy. It's okay. I understand. I get sleepy by 10 p.m. too. But I fully expect all of you to be my advocates. I fully expect all of you to go, Teamzy, that Teamzy training was awesome. I want you to go try Teamzy. You should go to the Teamzy. It's free. Go try the free trial. I'm going to do it. Let's do it together. I expect that of all of you. I'm investing in you, not because I want your business, but I'm confident in what I'm doing and how I'm working to help you, that I know you're going to become my advocate. Does this make sense? And so you need to have that confidence too. But we need the system. The system of trust has to be there, the regular contact, staying in touch, connecting, lifting people up on a regular basis, being a source for light for them on a consistent basis. Does this make sense? So first we did prospects. These are all the people we know that aren't in our business. We're just connecting with. Now we're talking to our actual customers, staying in touch. By the way, past and present, same thing. Once a customer, always a customer. Okay. And then the last group is our team. So let me just pull that up real quick. We're going to go to our team and it's going to pull up members. We're going to send them a message. Same thing, just checking in. How the heck are you? Hope you're having a great day, right? Is there anything I can do to support you in your business today? Just little messages. Okay, you can use the scripts again just to keep going. The point is we want to stay in contact and connect with our team, especially, oh my gosh, 2020, 2021, more so than ever, right? People need to be connected to other people. And the dirty little secret, it's not really a secret, but nobody likes to talk about it in our business, is the turnover rate, right? It's all about prospecting, recruiting, but what about retaining the great people we've already recruited? And I'm here to tell you the number one thing that impacts retention is a personal relationship with you. Staying in contact, keeping them engaged with the team, keeping them engaged with you. Does this make sense? Staying in contact. How are they going to know you really care? Well, when you're consistently reaching out, they know you care. Even when your whole team is on Teamzy and they know Teamzy is telling you to reach out, it becomes a little tongue-in-cheek thing like, hey, Penny, you're number one on Teamzy today. How are you doing? How's it going? I get messages all day long from people. They think it's hilarious to send me my script. Hey, Eric, hope you're having, right? Hope your day is awesome. I love getting those messages. I love getting those messages. Why? Because I know that somebody thought highly enough of me to put me in their Teamzy account to stay in touch with me. How awesome is that? It's a high compliment. Does it make sense? So I always take it as a high compliment. People think it's hilarious. I think it's quite funny too. And I know it's a great script and it always actually makes me smile. So it works on me too, even though I've seen it 10 million times. So we're going to connect with our members, the same thing. Again, my goal was, I think it was 4, right? 4. That'll take me 2 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Just thinking of you today. Now, look, that's the first half of the power hour. I know it took a long time to explain it to you, but I wanted you guys to understand the first half of the power hour is reaching out, making people's day. That's it. It doesn't take long. And my goal was 150,000 a year, and it's still only 19 messages. Okay. So how quick? And of course, I use Facebook Messenger because that has the highest response rate. That's why I like to use it if I'm connected that way. But however you're connected with people, whatever app you use, whatever social media platform you use, whether maybe it's text message, whatever you have, which is your best connection point for them, use that. You can log them all in Teamzy. Okay. So now I've started these 19 conversations. I've sent the messages out. People are starting to respond to me. What do you do next? So the next logical step is to have a conversation now. Now they've responded. Now you want to have a conversation. And I want you guys to, even though we're connecting over social media, I want you to think about running into somebody at the market face to face. What would you talk about? If you had a few minutes with somebody at the market that you haven't seen in a while, how would you connect with them? It's really simple, right? So you start out by saying, hello, it's great to see you. Then what do? What have you been up to? What's going on? How have you been? You ask basic questions like that and you start a conversation with them. And so as people are responding to me, by the way, don't run off and have the conversation with people until you're done with your power hour. Get all your outgoing messages done. It'll be very tempting when they respond to jump on that message and then have one conversation instead of sending your 19 messages or however many your goal is. But now I'm just telling you, like, down the road. So for example, I messaged Yvette. I actually made her day. She smiled. She responds. Now I'm going to try to engage her in a conversation. And I don't want you to get dismayed if every conversation doesn't take off. Many will fizzle out quickly. That's okay, because they're in Teamzy, they're going to cycle back, and over time, those connections will get deeper. But you'll have a lot of great conversations too, especially when you start with your 5- and 4-star people. So as I message Yvette, she responds, oh my gosh, it's been forever. Great to hear from you. Now I want to engage her in conversation. So I'll say, well, what have you been up to? Tell me what, send me your update. What have you guys been doing since the last time we talked? So now she's starting to update me on what her family's doing, what they're, we moved to Bali. What? What? Tell me about that, right? So we're talking, we're trying to figure out like how fabulous her life is. I'm asking her questions. She's telling me things. I'm just being interested in her. Does this make sense? Just have a conversation. Now, when you have a conversation at the market and somebody's telling you what's going on in their life, don't you then tell them what's going on in your life? It's expected. It's called the Law of Reciprocity. She expects me now to tell her what's going on in my life. So I'm going to tell her what's going on in my life. I'm going to tell her, where we live, what we're doing, what, how many kids I have now, what they're into. I'm going to tell her about my new Healy business. Why would I not? That's part of what's going on with me. Does it make sense? It's very natural. How do I bring up the business conversation? Oh my gosh, Eric, help me. I'll buy every training you have. Just tell me. One of my most popular trainings, by the way, I just want you guys to know, I'm not trying to sell it to you, but it's there if you want it, is called The Art of Creating Conversations That Convert. It's a 7-part series on how to have a conversation with somebody. And I'm not making fun of it because it's a really great training. And it's, again, it's my most popular. People buy it like crazy because people struggle with having conversations. I never thought when I built Teamzy, I would have to help people have the conversation. So I want to just kind of take some of the pressure off and just let you guys know, you're going to tell them what's going on in your life. And when it comes to mentioning your business, here's the 2 things I want you to focus on. Tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Don't have any expectations on them being interested. Just tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Okay. I started my own home-based business. It's been amazing. It's with a company called Healy. This is what we do. This is why I'm so passionate about it, right? And usually it comes from your personal experience. Maybe it comes from a friend's experience, right? I had a friend, you guys, I just wanted to, little side note. Did you guys get that? What you do and why you're passionate about it? Let me just finish this off because I know this is the part everybody wants to hear. And then I'm just going to tell you a quick story. What you do and why you're passionate about it. When you tell people about your business in this way, the vast majority of people will be very excited for you and happy for you. They're not going to be intimidated or scared that you're about to sell them something. They're going to go, wow, good for you. That's great. Wow, that's noble. Wow, good on you, right? Great. That's the best first response you could ever have to your business. And you want everybody you know to know about your business. You want them to know about your business and that you're passionate about it. If that's all you achieve the first go round, that's huge. But the easiest way now to transition that conversation is just to say, yeah, it's been amazing. And if you ever like more information on it yourself, just let me know. I'd be happy to get you some. Simple. Simple. Now, I just want to tell you guys a quick story because one time I went to a conference. It wasn't Healy, it was another company, but it was a similar wellness and health, right? Immune health, things like that. I went to a conference. I was invited to speak at this international conference. And because of Teamzy, a lot of people know my face. Plus I spoke at the conference. They know my voice. I'll be talking at line of Starbucks and people go, I know that voice. It's Eric, right? They've watched a lot of my videos or I've been on a call like this. So we're at the airport waiting for our flight. One of my business partners who was with me, we went to the airport a few hours early, hoping to jump on an earlier flight because we were tired, wanted to get home to our families. And so we went to the little bar in the airport to just hang out and just relax while we waited to stand by onto this flight. And there was a young woman sitting there by herself, having a drink, peacefully sitting there. And we sat down fairly near, about 3 or 4 bar stools away. And she says, are you Eric from Teamzy? I said, yeah, I am. And she's like, oh my gosh, so great to meet you. And we got to talking and I said, so what's your story? Why are you doing this business? What is it about? And she goes, I don't really have a story. Oh, you don't? How many of you guys feel like maybe you don't really have a story or you wish you had a better story, right? She says, I don't really have a story. I go, okay, well, how'd you get started using the products? And she goes, oh, well, she goes, I have a son, he's 12. And he's just had all kinds of health problems his whole life. He ends up at the doctor's office almost once a month. And he's been hospitalized already like 7 times. He's 12. And I was over at my neighbor's house and she has these kids that are just like the picture of health. They never get sick. And I asked her, like, what do you do? And she said, well, one of the things I do is this product is, that my kids take and I take, and it really builds our immune system. She goes, oh my gosh, I should try that with my son. And so I tried it. And, it's been 3 years since he's even seen the doctor. I said, and I started laughing. I looked at my business partner. I go, and she doesn't think she has a story. She doesn't think she has a story. We all have a story of why we're passionate. Sometimes maybe it's not yours. Maybe it's your neighbor had an amazing experience and you saw it and you were inspired by it, but we all have a story. So anyways, that's a little side note, but you got to tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it. The why you're passionate about it the story is a piece of it. Does this make sense? Okay. All right. So I kind of overdid that. I know I need to fast forward this a little bit so you guys can go to bed, turn back to pumpkins. So Yvette messages me back. We're having a great conversation. We're chit-chatting a little bit. I'm sharing with her what I'm doing and why I'm passionate about it. She's excited for me. I said, let me know if you want more information. She actually says, yeah, this is really interesting. I would like to learn more about it. Perfect. Great. So what am I going to do now? Well, what I would do is this where I send her that video link? Can you guys see how much I make fun of the video link? It has its place. It has its place. What I would do now is say, let's talk. Let's get off chat and let's have a conversation. Okay. And usually I would invite somebody to a Zoom. I've been on Zoom 7 years now. So I've always used Zoom. I would invite her to a Zoom, but whatever is easiest, FaceTime, actual phone conversation. If you live nearby, you could get coffee, whatever. But I want to have a conversation with her. Let's get off chat and talk about it. 5-10 minutes, whenever you're available, let's set something up. Really what I want to find out, Yvette, is what what you need to do. Like, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? And just to see if it's something I can even help with. Okay. Now that's like a key. I don't know if you guys got that down, but that is a key way to approach this. Don't assume you're going to solve everybody's problem with Healy. Go into it open, say, let's find out what you need so I can see if it's something I can help you with. Okay, that takes the threat off of them too. So now we're going to have this great conversation. Yvette's agreed to jump on a Zoom with me. I've sent her my link. Now we're face to face. Whenever you can get face to face, even virtually, it's better. So you can see each other's face, right? 85% of our conversation is nonverbal. So we're going to talk. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions. I'm going to find out what she needs, what's going on in her life, where she struggles, where, and really try to find out if it's something I can help her with. After I'm done asking all these questions and really getting a feel for her, and I realize, by the way, I almost always realize I can help. True, right? Then I'll let her know, Yvette, based on everything you're telling me, and mirror back some of what she said, I believe I can help you. Okay. She's like, great. And so let's say I'm going to recommend a specific device for her. She's like, excellent, Eric, I'm really interested in this. How do I order it? I said, great, I'm going to send you the link. I'll send you all the links and the information, how you can sign up for this right now. I'm going to email that to you. And then she's perfect. Email it to me and I'll get it. Have you guys had anybody say, yep, I'm going to get it? Then what happens? Well, 80% of the people who say, yep, I'm going to get it, don't. So what am I going to do? I'm going to assume that. So I'm going to say, okay, perfect, Yvette. I'm going to send all that information to you right now. And I tell you what, I'll check in with you tomorrow just to see if you have any questions. Sound good? She says, great. Why am I scheduling a follow-up? Because 80% of the time, she will not actually make the purchase today. And so it's not a bad thing. It's just the way human beings are. So here's how we do this in Teamzy. At the end of this great conversation, she's no longer on my dashboard, right? So now I need to log this invite. I'm sorry, this share. I need to log this share that we just did. So I'm going to look her up in this little lookup bar. So if you look up somebody here, you can get to their record even if they're not on the dashboard today. So that's her full record. I'm going to open up this connect box and I'm going to log that we had a video chat. Okay. I'm going to put all the notes from our Zoom in here, all the notes. And then right here where it says share, do you see that little one in the bottom corner? I'm going to click on share. What kind of share was it? So in this case, it was a product share. Great. And then whatever note I want to put on here for the follow-up, I can. But you notice right here, this little yellow calendar, that's my follow-ups list, and it activated. As soon as I told Teamzy this was a share, it activated the follow-up because it knows I need to follow up on a share. So it defaults to 2 days, but I like to make sure it's tomorrow. So I'm going to change that. You can set a follow-up for any date in the future, by the way, too. These little shortcuts are just to make it easy for you. So when I log this, you can see it's scheduled a follow-up. There's the video chat logged on her record. So I have a record of our conversation and it's scheduled this follow-up for tomorrow. Now, if I go to my dashboard, I'll just show you how this worked. 1, see the share, it's logged. So 1 out of my 3 is done for the day. I hit my goal of 1 so far. And if I go to my follow-ups list right here on the power hour, tomorrow you can see Yvette is scheduled for tomorrow. So as you're working in Teamzy and creating conversations with people and finding opportunities to share that are appropriate, people will start going onto that follow-ups list. After a few weeks of using Teamzy, that follow-ups list will start to fill up with people that you're following up with. These are not just, hey, how you doing? How are the kids? This is, you asked for my help and I'm here to help. Professional follow-ups. Make sense? So the second half of my power hour is my follow-ups list. When I get there, I'll look at my follow-ups list and I'll see who's due today. When they're due, I simply send them a follow-up connect. It's just like regular connect, the same process, but they're specific to follow-up. So for example, Yvette and I had this great conversation. She said she was going to sign up. She didn't, of course, right? So I'm going to go to scripts and send her a follow-up message. And these are labeled follow up. You can't mess it up. Okay. They're numbered in order. Follow up 1. It's the first one. Here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay. So I'm going to copy the script just like before. I'm going to paste it in here just like before. Change the name to Yvette. Okay. And I'm going to send her this follow-up message. Okay. There's her Facebook. Great. We're going to send her this message. There she is. Paste it in there. Follow-up message, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? So you guys can see these scripts are so refined over the last 20 years, refining these scripts to being short and having just the right psychology in them so they're not annoying. Okay, so we've sent her that message. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to log this in Teamzy, Facebook message. Okay, I sent this. And when I log the connect, because it's a follow-up, it's a little something different happens. First, Teamzy says, does this complete your scheduled follow-up? So I'm going to leave that checked because it does. But now I want to add another follow-up. I want to keep her on that follow-ups list. So I'm going to add another one. So when do I want to do it? Let's say we're going to send it on Saturday. Okay, great. You can leave yourself a note. It's going to be follow-up number 2. Okay, great. And then create it. Okay, so now that's scheduled, and then you can complete this. So it logged one follow-up and scheduled a new one, and now you can see she's due on Saturday. Does this make sense? Super easy. Super simple. Now, just real quick on this, and then we'll do some Q&A, and I know you guys are ready to go, so we'll do some quick Q&A, but real simple on this. Following up is where it happens, right? You've heard the fortunes in the follow-up. Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. Statistics are important because they help us understand how people behave. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Let me just say it again. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. And the same is true for recruiting, because recruiting is really a sale, right? So 7 to 10 follow-ups. How many of you guys are like, I don't want to have to follow up 10 times? I thought Eric said I didn't have to be annoying to do this. Let's see the hands. How many of you are seriously, you're like 10 follow-ups sounds annoying to me? Okay, so I'm just going to teach you really quick. There is a way to follow up without being annoying. You can follow up in such a way they will thank you for your follow-up every time. Okay, I'm going to teach you. There's 2 principles to it. Now, you can just use my scripts because they already follow these principles. But if you want to follow up on somebody and not be annoying, now, by the way, if somebody's not interested in your following up, that's annoying. I'm talking about people that have asked for your help. They've asked for information. You've shared. You've had a great conversation. You've shared a solution with them, right? Now we're going to follow up and help them get over themselves, really, to get to the sale. So 2 principles. First principle is when you're doing a follow-up, don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't tell them they need to call you or even respond. Okay? Don't ask anything of them. You're just being present for them. Okay? So many times people will say, please just let me know if you're interested or not. Oh, wow. How does that work? When you push somebody in a corner, they push back. Fine, then I'm not interested. Right? Like my kids, how many of you guys have raised kids or are raising kids? When your kid wants something and they keep asking you and you say, not right now, or give me a break, I'm in the middle of something, and they keep asking you, what do we end up doing? If you're going to keep bugging me, the answer is no. Right? The answer is just no. Now, I told you, wait. So people are like that with the kids. We never change. The way we are never changes. So don't ask anything of them. You won't be annoying. Just be present. The second principle is make sure your follow-up message is short enough that they can read the whole thing without opening it. Short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. Okay? Most of the time, they will not even open your message. How many of you guys sometimes don't open the message? You mean to do it later when you're going to respond, right? But right now, you can't respond because you're driving your car, you're making dinner, the dog's throwing up on the baby, I don't know what. For whatever reason, you're not going to respond right now. It's bad time. Your intentions are pure. I'm going to respond later. However, you want to see what it says, don't you? Oh yeah, we have to see what it says. We look at our phone. If you got one of those face-enabled phones, you know, you look at your phone and it opens the message without opening it, just when it sees your face. You're like, oh, wait, what do they say? Now, when you see that those ellipses, those dots, because they've written you a book, how annoying. Now I can't read the message until I open it. Make sense? Same thing with a voice message. I can't listen to that right now. The kids are running around screaming like banshees. I'll have to wait till later. Does it make sense? That desire to know what the message said wasn't satisfied. So you keep it short so they can read the whole thing without opening it. And you don't ask them to do anything. You can message them a million times. You won't be annoying. But what will happen is this. You'll send that message. You're like, I'm doing Teams. This is great. You'll send that follow-up message, no response. You'll send the next follow-up message, no response. You'll send the next message, no response. Now you're thinking, Eric Johnson's full of it. Right? Then Yvette says, no, just keep going. Okay, fine. I'll send another one, no response. What the heck am I doing here? Nobody's responding. And then you start creating stories. Maybe she doesn't like me. Maybe I did annoy her. I heard her husband's a jerk. It's the economy. Maybe it's COVID, right? We start creating all this crazy stuff in our head. Then what happens? Forget it. I'm just going to message her again. You message again, and then you get a response. And I want you guys to know, most people, 20% of people will respond to the first 3 messages. The other 80%, they might not even respond the first time until the 6th or 7th message from you. But the response will usually be this: I'm so sorry that I haven't responded. Thank you so much for staying in touch. So if you can stay there long enough, then you can send me the message going, you were right. Sorry that sorry I've been cursing your name for the past 3 weeks. You were right. They responded. You guys, this is like clockwork. Human beings are pretty predictable in how they respond. What you guys represent, your product, is revolutionary, isn't it? It's totally different. It's totally new. It goes against everything people think they know about how to be healthy and well. And so you've got an entire lifetime of subconscious programming working against you. This is true of any product, but I think it's especially true of your product. And so when you talk to them and they're like, wow, this is amazing, I'm going to buy it, their subconscious mind starts to shut that down. And the reason why is because what we know is safe and stable, and our brains are wired that way. Right? And so we stay that way. So it's kind of like the way our minds do it is they just distract us. They just distract us. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it right now. And it's like, what is that over there? Did I leave the stove on? Let me go make sure maybe make sure I turned the kettle off. And then you're distracted. You didn't do it. It's just little things like that happen. Over time, every time you connect, every time you send that little burst of positive hope to them, it starts to just kind of break that down. It takes down that fear of change. This is why 7 to 10 is average for a sale, because it takes that many connects before their mind says, well, every time Penny hears from Eric, she feels good for a second. So maybe it's not scary. Maybe it's not a scary thing. Maybe we can let her continue that conversation with him. Does this make sense? I know it's kind of weird to talk about your own minds that way, but it's the way we work. They've done all these amazing studies where, like, if you walk by somebody every day at a coffee cart, and they could put a gorilla at that coffee cart in the same clothes, and you would not see a gorilla. You would see the same person you see every day. It's just because your mind's like, we're going to take the computing power off. We know it's there. We know it's there. You don't have to think about it. We just keep going, and we keep focused on whatever else we want to compute on. Does this make sense? This works like a charm. That's why it's a system. That's why I've been teaching this system for 20 years, because it works. It works. It works. It's based on heart. It's based on serving people, but the system works. So as you connect with people, as you create conversations, you have no way of knowing which conversation is going to be awesome, which people are going to be interested. But instead of throwing people away when they're not interested, we build everybody up. We build everybody up. We create lots of conversations. Does it make sense? And from those conversations, we create opportunities to share. From those shares, we follow up like professionals. Because remember, you're wonderful and you're loving and you're sweet and they like you, but now they need to see your professional side. Oh, you're ready for my help? Now I'm going to help you as a pro. Now, a couple things on this. I just want you guys to understand something about following up. Following up, if you think of following up as annoying, you need to shift your mindset. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Write that down. Let it be kind of a mantra to you. It's an act of love, which means when somebody asks for your help and you agree to help them, until that device is in their hand, it's not going to help them. The only thing that you have to help them is your ability to follow up. This is why people say, thank you for staying in touch with me, because they know that they've not been nice by not responding, right? But when you give up, and I've talked to so many people who say, I follow up 4 times, and if they don't respond, next, great. If that's how you want to run your business, is let people know that you really didn't care about them. That you really didn't care about them. That's the message you send. Sorry, you didn't respond. So I guess I don't want to help you. I don't care about you. Right? Can you imagine? Now, most of you raised your hands that you're raising or have raised children. Is there anything you've been able to teach your kids in 4 follow-ups? Can you even get them to brush their teeth in less than 10,000? I mean, my kids range in age from 4 to 21. We still have to ask the 21-year-old, did he brush his teeth? I mean, come on, right? This is the way people are. So be encouraged. Don't be discouraged by that. Once you understand that this is kind of the pattern and you go, okay, great. It may take longer for me to help people, but I have a system to keep me in track so I don't forget them, so they don't fall through the cracks, right? And so you're working your Teamzy 5 days a week. You can work it more if you want, but I'm just telling you, 5 days a week is more than enough. You get in there, you start conversations, you got people on your follow-ups list, you keep them on that follow-ups list, and every month it will be consistent. Every month you will have conversions that are consistent, and you're growing and growing and growing. A portion of those, if you're sharing the business opportunity, a portion of those will join the team, and the team will be growing and growing and growing. You teach your new team members, don't overthink this. Use Teamzy. Come on, it's easy. It's, you can use it for free for a couple of weeks. Let's get in here and use it. Make sense? Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Not only that, but you can build a team that's based on heart, not based on this go for no thing. Because I will tell you, people can be successful doing the go for no thing, but very few people can do it. Very few people are wired that way, but everybody's wired for relationships. Are you with me? Okay, really quick, I've got some action steps for you. And then if you guys are not totally ready to pass out, we'll do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. Action steps, where are we? Wow, I didn't realize I talked so long. Sorry, I'm keeping you guys. I really went for it today. All right, here we go. We got this one already. Action steps. So go to Teamzy.com, start your 14-day free trial if you haven't already done that. Okay. If you're in the free trial, you can get your subscription set up at any point so you don't miss a beat when the trial ends. Remember, we don't ask you for any payment info or anything for the free trial. So when it's over, it'll just end. So you'll want to go ahead and start your subscription if you're enjoying it. Okay. Again, you won't be billed for 14 days, but it'll be in there ready to go. We do have a special going right now for Healy, which is really great. I want you guys to take advantage of this. So Teamzy we only do US dollars. We're US based. So you'll have to translate for yourselves with your exchange rate. But Teamzy's $29.99, so $30 US a month for access. So it's less than $1 a day to have everything planned and organized for you. However, we are doing a really special limited time offer for Healy because we really want to help you guys grow as part of our Teamzy family. So right now you can lock in the rate of $19.95 a month. So less than $20 a month. So it's a third less than the normal price, and you can lock that in forever. Okay. And so our month-to-month subscriptions, you can cancel those at any time. We won't hold you, don't worry. So, but you can get started for $19.95 US a month, full access to Teamzy, which is amazing. For those of you who are fully in love with Teamzy and you want a better deal, you can do 12 months at a time where you pre-purchase a whole year for 198 US, which basically takes another whole 2 months off. So you get 12 months for the price of 10. So take advantage of that pricing. You can get that locked in. And as long as you're a Teamzy customer, we'll never, ever raise the price on you. Okay. Also, I highly recommend you get a success partner to do the trial with you. Look around and say, hey, do you want to do this? Let's do this together. Hold each other accountable to doing it. Now, 2 things you want to do with your success partner. 1, share your goals. What are your Teamzy goals? Like how many connects are you doing with prospects, customers, members? Okay. Share your goals. And then every day that you're in Teamzy, I want you to take a screenshot when you're done with your power hour and send it to your partner. Now, you may not get 100% every day. Honestly, you guys won't get all the shares in at first, right? because it's going to take a while to build those conversations. But whatever you get done, 80%, 70%, screenshot it and send it to your partner. That accountability will drive you each to do amazing things, right? We've seen teams take on a Teamzy challenge, free trial challenge, and boost their team volume 20, 30% the first month. So otherwise you'll end up signing up for the free trial, maybe not even looking at it. How many of you guys are guilty of doing that with free trials? I do it all the time. So accountability partner, success partner is huge. You will not find anyone in this business who's successful who doesn't have success partners. And then I'm going to finally give you a 5-day challenge. The 5-day challenge is really simple. I want you to use Teamzy 5 days in a row. And over 5 days, I want you to message 100 people. So it's 20 a day, 5 days in a row. What will happen will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. The amount of momentum you create in those 5 days will blow your mind. You'll never believe any of the limiting stories you've told yourself in the past ever again. Okay. And I hear them all. I hear them all. It's a slow time of year. People are, people aren't interested in this, or money's tight, or inflation's bad, or, I've gone through my warm market. Like, those are stories. They're not true. Those are not true stories. Message, do a 5-day challenge, and I'll prove you wrong. Some of you will probably be irritated with me because you'll have so many chats going on. You're going to be a little overwhelmed, but it's important for you to viscerally feel the momentum you can create in 5 short days. Does it make sense? On my webinar that I'm doing Monday night, I'm actually going to talk about the time that I messaged 43 people in 1 hour. What happened? I don't recommend going huge like that because it gets really overwhelming. Okay. So a little bit each day is easier to manage, just so you know. Okay. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? Okay. Just for a few minutes. I know we've gone really long. Let's just take 5 or 10 minutes. If you have some questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Just unmute your own microphones and ask away.
Hi, Eric. I have a question.
Yes.
Thanks so much for that. It's brilliant. I just want to ask you, the messages that you send to people, are they already in the app, or do we make those up ourselves?
They're already, my scripts are in there for you. Over 100 of my scripts. You can add your own as well, though, which is really cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sorry, go on.
Even in the free trial, you have the scripts library access.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. And when you were going into prospects first, so are those people that you have spoken to already about Healy or about whatever it is, or are they just completely random from your Facebook and from your phone?
Random from your Facebook and your phone. But they may also be people you've spoken to about Healy. Does that make sense? I look at it like this. There's my team, there's my customers, and everyone else I know are my prospects. Does that make sense? Yeah. And even if I'm reaching out to you, Fiona, and you're like, Eric, I'm never going to do Healy. I'm not interested in Healy at all. I'm still going to keep you on my prospects list because my focus is the relationship, right? So I'll say, Fiona, I totally understand. No problem at all. But I hope we can still stay in touch and be friends, of course. And then 3 months later, it's like, hey, Fiona, how are you? How's everything going? Wow, he really meant it. Right? Does this make sense? Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people say no and eventually become an advocate, as long as you're not trying to shove it down their throat. Does that make sense? So, so for me, the prospect list is everyone's a prospect who's not already on my team or in my customer. Now, there may be a few exceptions, right? There are people who are on someone else's team, somebody else's customer, right? You don't want, but does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And would you change the relationship figure then, the star rating, I should say, for those then? If they tell you they're not interested, would you change the star rating, or would you change anything in the app?
Well, absolutely. I would probably make them less frequent on my list. So that's what the star rating does. So let's say I was like, oh, this person is a hot prospect. I'm putting them in as 5. And then they were like, I'm not interested. I would probably make them a 3 because every 3 months seems about right to reach out and stay in touch. Does that make sense? So yes, I would probably change the star rating based on that. But what I wouldn't do is wipe them out unless they're a total jerk. Does that make sense? So
yeah, totally.
there are people who are not worth your time. So I look at it like this. If you're in Teamzy, it's because I think it'd be valuable having a relationship with you. Sometimes and it's so funny because some of this is obvious, right? But people will say, well, I don't want to import my friends list because there's hundreds of people in there that I would never contact. Why are they on your Facebook? Why are you friends with them? And some people are like, well, because I'm trying to build my business, so I just accept anybody. It's like, you accept anybody? No. You want to flock, birds of a feather flock together, right? You want to be around birds that you can fly up with, not that pull you down. So if you guys have done that in the past where you've accepted people, you need to go through and clean house and get rid of people. Somebody will come through. I always look for, just a little side note, I look to make sure that we have an alignment of values, that if I look at your site and it's like, you have a Hail Lucifer thing on there, I'm like, I'm probably not going to want to connect with you, right? We're just not aligned. But if you seem like a decent person, you've got a family you appear to care for, you seem to be a normal person, I'll accept your friend request. And then all of a sudden, if I start getting all these random requests, this happens to me. I'll get all these random requests from like porn sites and stuff that say, you have one friend in common. It's this person. It's like, that person's no longer my friend. Right. So I'll go through and like sometimes the friend requests you get with friends in common tell you who to unfriend too, but you have to protect those relationships. And then what you get into Teamzy are, again, people you may not know until you start connecting, but you want to make sure that these are people you want a relationship with. You want to build a business and a team around the people you want to be around. Make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't your question,
totally.
Fiona. It probably didn't apply to you, but one of my tangents.
No, that's perfect. Thanks a million.
My pleasure.
Hey, Eric, how you going?
Hi, great. How are you?
Good. I've written down a few questions. In regards to, I think it was asked before, but contacts, because I've been using it and I love the new updates with Healy and how we can choose whether they're a whatever device they've purchased. But if we get, say, new friends on Facebook and that CSV file, does it merge it and like pick up duplicates and not wipe out what we've already got for those people?
Yeah. So if you do a second Facebook import, it will only bring the new people in. It won't create duplicates. That's one thing.
Beautiful.
One thing that is cool though, we're very close to finishing a Chrome extension. So if you use Google Chrome and you install this and it's actually finished, we're just testing it right now, make sure there's no bugs. And Facebook changed their code like 3 days ago, so we had to redo it. But it'll actually, you'll be able to push a button and keep it synced, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's going to be amazing. But here's what I will tell you guys. So for those of you who are watching this, you haven't set up Teamzy, there's a simple step-by-step instruction how to get your full list of friends from Teamzy as a file. You can upload that easily into Teamzy. So Sophie's question was, if I do that a second time, will it duplicate everybody? It won't, right? It won't duplicate them. It'll only bring the new people over. But once you've uploaded your list, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you meet on a daily basis as you're meeting new people, the best practice is to click that add person button at the top of Teamzy and just add that person in as you meet them, right? And so that way you can make sure that you message them right away and you get them in your Teamzy flow. Make sense? So as you're meeting new people, that's the best thing to do. But if you fall behind, this used to happen to me all the time. I'd fall behind, it'd be Friday, I'd be like, I have 25 new friends. Then you could grab that export quickly and put it in so they're all in Teamzy. There's a little backup system for that. If you go to the team page, there's a recent ads group that shows everybody you've added to Teamzy in the last 2 weeks. So if you're like me and you fell behind and you put a bunch of people in, you could go to that recent ads and make sure you've messaged all those people. Because when you meet a new person, you want to message them right away. Does that make sense? You don't want to meet a new person and then wait 3 months for them to come up on Teamzy and message them. So at the very least, you want that first, so glad we're connected message to get out there so that you've established that contact. Okay. Sophie, I know you had several questions, so keep going.
Yeah, sorry. Will there be an interface or like an integration? Because I have used the email one already. So the Gmail, linking that up for, I don't know, like rather than going into Messenger or that Facebook, like where it will integrate with Messenger and Instagram and LinkedIn and WhatsApp possibly?
Well, LinkedIn's a separate company, but the other three are all the same company, right? Facebook. So we used to have an integration with Facebook Messenger when we first launched for about 2 months, and then Facebook revoked that from all apps. Facebook doesn't allow anybody to integrate with Messenger. The only exception is there are certain services that will integrate with a business page, which we're not. You guys are personal pages, right? So you for Facebook and Instagram, you'll have to toggle over to send the message, right? Which is fine. But we do integrate, as you mentioned, we do integrate with Gmail. So if you have a Gmail account, you can sync it with Teamzy. And when you send a message through Teamzy, it sends through your Gmail and logs everything in Teamzy, which is huge. So one little thing I didn't show you guys, we talked about the scripts. You can create scripts, not just for messaging, but also for emails. And so like for me, I never wrote the same email twice. So I would save my emails, I'd put them in as a script. So if you have a whole script about Healy watch and how amazing Healy watch is, and here's the links on how to buy Healy watch, and here's the corporate video, right? Because you've had a conversation, you're sending it on, then you save that as a script. So as you're having these conversations, you're like, I'm going to send you some information right now. And it's like, bam, it's done. Because you've saved it as a script, you can send it as an email through Gmail. That's such a huge time saver. So that's just a little something for you guys to think about. Did you have another one, Sophie?
The last one was like with birthdays for people, obviously. If that little card that you showed earlier was your birthday, they obviously got the date wrong. That I don't know if that was just an example, but being able to follow up with people, like it's nice when you get a birthday message and someone remembers.
There is a birthday report in Teamzy. So if you've saved if you keep track of their birthdays and put that data in Teamzy, you can pull a birthday report and see everyone who has a birthday this month. And that is because I know a lot of people who write birthday cards. It's a really easy thing to do. With different businesses that I've consulted with over the years, normal businesses. Like I think of a real estate brokerage in Los Angeles. It's a large brokerage. I've been working with them for 6 years. And the assistant, at the first week of every month, the assistant puts on the business owner's desk every client who has a birthday that month. She puts the birthday card that she went and shopped for. How many of you guys would like an assistant like this? She puts the birthday card she shopped for that person in an envelope that's addressed to that person. She sets them out each week for that person, that week's birthday. She sets them out on Barbara, who owns the business, puts them on her desk. Barbara just writes them birthday cards, personalized birthday cards. She doesn't even think about it. And so like, it is very powerful to have that information at your fingertips. So we do have a birthday report in Teamzy. Now, I'll be honest, I rely on Facebook a lot because Facebook says birthdays today, which you could do too. Okay. So Facebook has a good way of saying, here's the birthdays today. You won't hit every birthday. I mean, if you have 3,000 or 4,000 contacts, you're not going to get every birthday, but every time you do get a birthday, it's great, right? One little thing about birthday messages though, I just want to throw this out there. I didn't typically log happy birthdays as Teamzy connects. Here's why. You could hit your goals every day just by using your Facebook birthday list, right? But most of those people will not jump on a conversation with you because they got 300 messages today because it's their birthday. So most they're going to do is say thanks. So I like to send the birthday messages, but I don't like it to interrupt the Teamzy flow. So if it's Sophie's birthday and I say, happy birthday, I hope you're having a blessed day, she says thanks, and then she comes up on Teamzy 10 days later, then she's very likely to respond because all of the overwhelm of her birthday messages and well wishes is over. And then now I'm messaging her and she's very likely to respond. Does that make sense? So that's just my little side note on birthdays. All right, let's take one more question and then I'm going to send you guys off on your way. Who's got one more for me? Karen? Oh, yeah. Hi, Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Penny, just carry on.
Okay, thanks, Karen. Just a quick one. If I'm, say, using Teamzy for managing my Healy business, but I also have another business that I want to use it for as well, can I have one account for that and then have two sort of sections that I'm working from, or does it have to be two separate accounts?
Yeah, you can use one account. We have a lot of people in that situation. We have a really simple tagging system where you can add tags. And so what I would do is just tag people Healy, tag people your other business, so you know what you're primarily talking to them about. And then what happens is, if I have tags, for example, on Yvette, if I were to go over to details, it would show all her tags, right? So if one of her tags was Healy, and she comes up on my thing, my dashboard, I could look over at details and I could see all of her tags. So I could quickly see, you know, how I want to interact with her. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay,
the tags are huge, and you can use, somebody might have 50 tags after you get going, because you'll want to tag anything pertinent that you want to see, that you want to group them together with other people. So I would tag everybody for every product they buy. That way you would have a list of everybody who bought that product. Or maybe you have a tag that's interested in this product, so you can see all the people who've expressed interest. So I would have a tag. I would tag all my mothers, and then on Mother's Day, send them messages. I would tag all my veterans, you know, and on Veterans Day, here's Veterans Day, but I would message them, thanking them for their service. So things like that, like whatever I could think of, ways to build community, ways to build relationships, ways to organize my thing. And then you also have, like, you know, if everybody has a specific device and you guys have a new, you know, forgive me, I'm somewhat educated, thanks to Karen and a few others on Healy, but let's say they have a device and you guys have a new program that they could purchase for that device, right? It would be a huge benefit to have a quick list of everybody who has the device, wouldn't it? So the tags work that way. So it becomes really great. And if you guys want to learn more about tagging, I did a full hour training on how to use tags in in Teamzy. And it's in the Teamzy Help Center. You can watch that yourselves. Even in the free trial, you can watch that.
Okay, great. Thanks very much for that.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we should probably tie this up. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me. Hopefully it was really helpful. Thank you for staying up late to be with me this evening, depending on where you're at. And I just want to welcome you all to the Teamzy family. So thank you so much for spending some time with me, and God bless you and have a great night.
Thank you, Eric. That was great. And a lot of people are asking about the recording, so I'll just reach out to Jay, shall I, and just see if I can get the recording for this.
I'll get it uploaded and I'll send you the link. I'll message it to you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thanks for waking up early.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.